Hi friends, this is your friend soulful photographer Ashok. I am at one of the most beautiful, they call it small Switzerland, Khajiar. This is on the lower hills of Himalayas or in the state of Himachal Pradesh. And you can see the backdrop, it's raining today. It's such a wonderful scene, unimaginably beautiful. And I'm of the opinion when the weather is bad, we should venture out. It's very easy to get a morning shot or evening shot, but this is very special kind of offering which nature throws at you, and I don't miss any opportunity. I will definitely wake up, go out, travel miles, doesn't matter, because I want to capture this so-called bad weather. Today I'm going to talk about the gear I use. This is not a paid gear promotion. This is my feeling of comfort, my feeling of liking and disliking. It's very personal. What cameras I use, what lenses I use, why I use that, and what genres I cover, and how these lenses and this equipment helps me to go into that genre of photography or accomplish that genre of photography. Because I try all genres except wildlife. Hi friends, we're back again. As promised, I'll like to share the equipment what I use. Of course, as a seasoned photographer, you carry tons of equipment. That may not be necessary, but you get used to few things. The reason, very simple reason is, at least I can speak about myself. I do many genres. I do street, I do travel, I work on fashion, glamour, semi-nudes, nature, landscape. So naturally then the spectrum is so wide, and you definitely want specialized equipment for every genre. So I'll introduce, presently I'm on to Fuji. I have XH1. I've used all the cameras, but I like the XH1. I have 3 bodies of that with the lenses varied from 1024 to 100-400. So that is the range I work upon. 1024 is definitely for the landscape, and sometimes I would like to use for street, to dramatize, to go up close to the person, may get distortions. Because there is sometimes you want to play with that. And especially the streets of Delhi or streets of India are very congested, very narrow. So you want to take advantage of that. They're hardly any distance. So that gives sometimes the edge over. Then I have various prime lens. I'll just count the lenses. 1024 I have 18-135, I have 7300, 100-400. Then I have fixed focal lengths I have 12 millimeters, I have 18, 35, 56, 60 macro. So like that, then I have tilt and shift lens and tilt lens, 50 mm tilt lens. So these are the equipment which is looks to be tons of equipment, but naturally one has to justify why one is using that. Before I forget, I must introduce my dear friend mirror lens or the reflex lens, which I use mainly for portraits in the street or otherwise. I like the feel of the lens, what it brings out. It brings out absolutely shallow depth of field, because on my APS-C sensor, it becomes this 300 millimeter becomes 450. And that gives me such a wonderful, wonderful results, which I will definitely like to show you the images as well. Again, I'll repeat, this is not paid in any way. This is my personal feeling. And why I like Fuji, I'll just come to that. See, we come from analog world. And the people who are from analog, of course, many of them, they have absolutely adopted to digital. Me too. I'm very, very much fan of digital and the latest technology. When it comes to handling the camera, I should command the camera. Any camera, maybe the world's best camera, if the camera is commanding me, it's useless to me. I don't need that. For these cameras, I never go to menu, hardly ever go to menu, because everything is stated out. That makes my life so easy, and I work 100% on manual. Whatever genre I'm doing, I have to be on manual because I have to command it. And I come from that background where equipment is my slave. I'm not the slave of equipment. That is for sure. Other than this set of equipment, I forgot to just mention that I have GFX50S, which I love and use it mainly for landscape photography or architecture or organized kind of photography. So that is what I use that camera for. Secondly, you see, in street, general tendency is that we should shoot on 8 or 11. I go my way. I'm not on to that it has to be 8 or 11 because I would love to experiment. I love to make mistakes. So there I come and use f2. I need shallow depth of field, even in the crowd. So of course it's very little challenging. Not very much nowadays because follow focus and things are very, very advanced now. Yesteryears it was really difficult in those crowded spaces, but today it's very easy. So sometimes, or majority of the times, I use this lens to use f2. That gives me different dimension to the lens. That is one. Again, of course, for the portrait in the street, you can say the set conditions, then this 56, which becomes approximately 83, 84 millimeter in full frame and ratio. So that is, I use 1.2, which is amazing. But again, I use for travel and street and people for this lens, which is, I'll not say challenging, but definitely that gives an edge over the others. So that is the application for this lens, which I use. Another favorite lens, of course, 18-135 is very versatile lens which becomes 24-200. But the 70-300, I love this lens. For a simple reason. Generally, the myth is that the street photography should be shot on 24 millimeter to 50 millimeter. That is what the general practice. I'll not say the myth. I'll say the general practice is that. We need to break it. Break it in the way that I get images which is little different. So I shoot this 300 with 70-300. I shoot far images in the street. Maybe people moving around in the foreground. Right? That is the creative liberty I take. And that gives me an opportunity to get into very, very close at a person who is far distance from me. That's why I love this lens, which is amazing lens, absolutely. As I mentioned earlier. So today discussion on equipment is a waste of time because every company, every manufacturer gives the absolutely amazing equipment because the industry is mature. I talk in my demonstrations and in my talks. I say the industries are maturing like the car industry today. Buy any car. It's your choice of brand, but the performance is the same. Hardly we see a car stranded on the road, break down. Same way goes with the computers or cell phones. This is immature. So again, I'll just repeat, the photography industry is far mature today, far mature today. Today we can see one company launching 6 cameras a year, 5 cameras a year. It not used to be. It used to be one camera in 5 years. So because it's mature now, I'll not get into the technology because I'm not a tech person. I can talk about the creative part of it and endless creative applications for these equipment. That is my strength, or that is what I love to do. Like mirror lens. I haven't come across anybody using mirror lens for street photography. It's amazing lens. Very cheap, of course, old lens, very cheap. But once you start using it, you'll love it. I mean, you will love it. And I'm talking about the 250 millimeter or 300 mm, not 500 millimeter. So this is the most, I say, the most loving lens for me. Amazing lens, amazing. So to conclude the session, which I don't want to prolong for no reason, just to conclude, I'll say, first, design the application what you are into it. Start with the basic. Try, borrow from your friend the other lens. If you like it, if you feel it, use it for a week, 10 days, buy it. And no sense buying the new one. You can buy the second-hand used one, because everyone takes care of these lenses or the equipment so close to their heart. So anyway, that's up to you. Buy a new one or the used one. Similarly, build it up. One by one, build it up. And one day you will find, after a year or two, you will find that your kit is complete. Now, no need for any new entrant, or just for the fun of it, changing the bodies or changing the equipment. That's very personal. If you have spare money, definitely go ahead, buy every year one new camera. But I'll say that use the old is gold. So summing up, I hope you like it. Give a little thumbs up and subscribe the channel if you can, you like it. Thank you very much. See you on the next one. Thanks. Thank you very much.